Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. This is episode 13 of Inside the Numbers. I'm Hunter Aschenbrenner. That's Jake Auerbach. Today, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to start off with the Knicks, the dominant sweep of the 76ers, and then we'll go around the sports world after that.
Yeah, obviously that's the big story right now. Dominant sweep. Pretty much all four games. Game 2 was a little shaky, but
That's about it.
all four games were dominant by the Knicks. They looked great. Just such a good performance from them throughout the whole series, pretty much. And get a long break until
At
Eastern
least
Conference
Sunday.
Finals. So it'll be a while for guys like OG to heal up. You saw Kat and Josh Hart. They both returned to the game in Game 4.
Banged
But
up.
they both got a little banged up, so it's good. Get a nice break for them. But huge series.
Oh,
for
yeah.
them. I mean, they just clicked on everything.
Yeah, they dominated the 76ers. Obviously, game 1 was an obliteration on last Monday, and then game 2, it was a closer game, but then they wrapped it up at the end, and then obviously OG goes down with the hamstring. Game 3 on Friday night, it was kind of looking at OG's out. He's day-to-day, though. Sixers probably going to take this one. Then they start off Sixers start up 9-0, and you're looking, all right, Sixers probably going to win this. Knicks demolish the second quarter, go up with an 8-point lead into half, and then cruise the rest of the way. And then yesterday at 3:30, 25 threes from the Knicks. They start 11 of 12. Deuce McBride was unbelievable, and they finish off the sweep of Philadelphia, and now they've got at least a week break as they await their opponent.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, in Game 3, the Knicks started off down 9-0, and people were like, wow, OG really means this much to the Knicks team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he really is that important. But that's when the bench really showed up. The depth of this team really showed up, and guys like Deuce McBride, Landry Shamet, they really just played well. And then, I mean, that's what I've talked about this pretty much every time we bring up the Knicks. But the depth of this team is ridiculous. How many players that they have that can really make an impact, and we've seen that throughout these playoffs. And that's a key reason why they're in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they're going to be one of the 4 teams remaining in the NBA.
Yeah, in Game 2, Mitch was out with an illness, and then Huck Porty stepped up. He was good. Landry Shamet was out of the rotation after the first couple games of the Hawks series, and then he gets a chance with OG out, and he goes off. He knocks down a couple shots, playing great defense, facilitating the offense. Obviously, Deuce McBride, what a start yesterday. He shot 5 for 5 from 3, and I'm pretty sure the first quarter, as the Knicks tied a playoff record with 25 threes. Look, I mean, they dominated Philly in every aspect of the game. They shut out their superstars, especially Maxey. The job they did on one of the twitchiest players in the entire NBA without OG for half the series is just, it's amazing, and the entire Knicks team and coaching staff deserves credit for it.
Yeah, I mean, Maxey is one of the hardest players to guard in the whole league because he can shoot, he can drive, he's so fast and quick and athletic and twitchy, and he's so agile. Like, he's such a good athlete and good basketball player. He's one of the hardest players in the league to contain, and the Knicks did just that all 4 games pretty much. They shut him down. Even though Joel Embiid was injured pretty much the whole series.
He's always injured.
No, I know, but if there was a full Embiid, things could have been different. I'm not saying the outcome of the series, but I don't think
there's never a full Embiid anymore.
No, but
Doesn't
I don't think it would have been as easy of a clean sweep as it was. And I think Maxey would have done a little bit more with a healthy Embiid. That just gives him a different option.
That player doesn't exist anymore. Look, like they said the same thing 2 years ago, and the Knicks won that series. If Embiid was healthy, like Embiid's never been healthy in 3 years. Like he's always hurt. Whether it's the ankle, whether it's the hip, whether it's the abdomen, whether it's his knee, like anything. His eye a couple years ago was the issue.
Yeah.
He's he's made of glass, and he's even softer, as the way he plays.
Yeah, I mean, he's a flopper.
Yep, he is. So the Knicks will now await the winner of Detroit versus Cleveland. If Detroit wins that series, they're up 2-1. It'll be Knicks against the Pistons. The first 2 will be in Detroit. If the Cavs win, it'll be at the Garden. So we'll see as the week unfolds
I
who
got a
the Knicks
question
are
for
going to be
you.
matching up. Yeah,
Who would you rather right now if you're the Knicks?
Cleveland, easily. I've been scared of Detroit just because I don't want to see any of the Thompson twins. They're unbelievable on defense. And the entire team plays with incredible physicality. I mean, Cleveland, I'm not scared of. Like
You,
James
you think you
Harden,
think it's because of the matchup against the Knicks, or you think that Detroit's just a better team?
Detroit's definitely the better team.
No,
I
yeah,
mean,
definitely. But
I don't trust Detroit's offense in a 7-game series to beat the Knicks, but look, they're very physical, and it'll be a
yeah,
battle that entire series. And then
yeah, for sure.
Cade Cunningham's obviously amazing, but
Yeah,
Cleveland, like James Harden's doesn't perform in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell, he's amazing, but the Knicks can slow him down. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, they're soft. Mitchell Robinson can demolish them along with Karl Anthony Towns.
yeah. I mean, we'll get more into the.
Yeah,
We'll
preview that
preview it.
series before that comes.
Yeah, definitely. But hopefully that series goes to 7.
Yeah, I just
I'd
want them
say.
to keep beating up on each other.
Yeah,
Like,
if they can battle it out, and I don't want any injuries, obviously, but if they can get a little banged up, get a little fatigued,
No.
and then they have to play game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals when they played 2 nights ago, and the Knicks haven't played in
Just like
close
Philly.
to a week, that's huge.
yeah, because I mean, I think this Knicks team is so good that they can beat anyone. So I don't want the excuse from the other team that they were injured. Like, give me your best team and let us go demolish you.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
that's how good this team is. I'm so confident in them, and it's annoying. Like we have nothing else to talk about. That's just blowout after blowout. The two stats that are eye opening is 21 of 27 teams that have won 7 straight playoff games have went on to win the NBA Finals. Obviously, the Thunder this year have done the same thing, but the Knicks are one of those teams. And then I don't know the exact stat, but there was something with the amount of 30-point blowouts in a playoff series. There's only 3 teams ever in a playoff run. There's only 3 teams ever who have done it, and they've all won the finals. One of them was the 2025 Thunder. I'm not sure about the other 2.
Yeah, I mean, not to belittle anything you just said, but the teams that they've played have not been so talented so far.
I mean,
But
Philly has a bunch of talent, and they beat Boston in 7.
for sure.
Like,
But they're still a playoff team. No, I'm not belittling it at all. But I'm really interested to see this next round. I think that's going to be by far their biggest competition.
yeah,
So far.
for sure.
We'll see.
But yeah, we'll recap that in the coming days, and we'll preview the next series. But
I think
now,
you said this the other day. Actually, sorry to interrupt, but
Yep.
I want to see if they have like a video or something. What happened in the locker room after
Oh, yeah.
Game 3 of the Hawks?
yeah, I mean,
was that you that said
Mikal
that?
Bridges, Mikal Bridges was quote tearing up in the during media. Look, we don't know what happened, but they lost game 3, and then they came out and they've been dominating ever since. So, I just hope that if they win the NBA Finals and there's a documentary that comes out after, they have a inside video of what happened, how they switched everything up, and how they got it together and prevailed.
Yeah, because this switch. I mean, they look like a completely different team
Than they have all year.
since game. Yeah, but it's specifically since the first
Since
3
game
games
3,
of the Hawks
something
series. Yeah.
switched.
Something went off inside that locker room with the coaching, with the players. They just look like an entirely different team.
Yeah,
It's
and
great.
there was also a story that came out from the Athletic, I'm pretty sure the other day, that when the Knicks were going through their 2-9 stretch in January, they lost the game to the Magic with no starters playing for the Magic, and and Jalen Brunson led a very intentional practice the next day, and was like, he was emphatic at the players, and he basically said, "Get your shit together. Like, this isn't the team you guys are supposed to be. 2-9 of your last 11, and they closed out the regular season strong, and then they've hit another level into these playoffs.
Yeah, that's what a leader does. So,
Yep. That's what makes him
good
so
to see that.
special.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I want to shift over to baseball. We'll start over with the Yankees. They had their first really bad series of the year. They got swept in Milwaukee. Spencer Jones made his MLB debut against Jacob Mizorowski and got blown away by 104 a couple times. But he got his first hit the other day on Sunday with an RBI single, smoked up the middle. His mom was in the crowd, which that was an amazing moment. And we'll see on Spencer Jones. Like, he has a very awkward swing. When he connects, he's going to smoke the ball. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not really a fair debut for him.
Not at all.
Mizorowski, he almost threw a immaculate inning in the first inning of that game. He was one pitch away. It's just not like you can't base it off Mizorowski. He throws 104 up in the hands every pitch, but whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's a young, talented kid who is filling in the role of Jason Dominguez right now.
Yeah, we'll talk about him later.
Yeah, after the concussion and the shoulder injury.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we'll see what he has. I mean, he's been hyped up for years in the Yankee system. And this is obviously his first chance with the Major League club.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see what he delivers, what he brings to the team, and if he produces, like, if he plays at an extremely high level, like, what do they do when Dominguez comes back?
Yeah, that's the big question. But, I mean, it's a good problem to have.
No, obviously. I mean, that's always a good thing to have. But it's just going to be interesting to see, like, if Dominguez goes down, maybe. If Spencer Jones, if you can't send him down because he's playing too well, we'll see.
But yesterday, or the Yankees had maybe their three best pitchers go in this series. They had Fried, who had probably his worst outing of the year. Cam Schlittler was amazing, and then the bullpen blew it. And then yesterday, Carlos Rodon made his season debut. He had 5 walks. The command wasn't there, but it was encouraging to see that he was reaching 98 on the fastball. Yeah. So you're seeing that the bone spurs removed from his elbow are upping his velocity, and he hasn't really had that velocity since he got here from San Francisco. Look, the Yankees' rotation is already disgusting, and if we get Carlos Rodon, who's been a very good pitcher over the last 2 years, with more velocity, that's just going to go even farther for what this team can do.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Garrett Cole coming back. We spoke with Brian Hoke last week. He said he expects him to be back late
by
May,
the end of May,
early June. So we'll see with that. But I mean, this Yankees rotation has the potential to be ridiculous. Like if they can get a good form of Cole and Rodon back, and these guys like Schlittler and Fried, and they stay hot. So we'll see what happens. But it's always a good problem to have.
Yeah, pitchers. And you mentioned Garrett Cole. He made his 5th rehab start the other day, yesterday, and he was touching 99 on the fastball, which, I mean, that's amazing. Obviously, hasn't been, like, great with preserving and keeping runs, but they're not looking at the results in those. He's just, like, some of these rehab starts, he's going all fastballs. Some he's going all breaking balls. Some he's just trying to get velocity. Like, they're just working on stuff. So I expect Garrett Cole to be very good when he comes back. We'll see when it is. I think Aaron Boone said it's going to be 2, maybe 3 more rehab starts. So that's 10, 15 more days. As we said on May 11th, that's putting it into the end of May. So yeah, that's another exciting piece to this team. And just getting the person Garrett Cole is, the leader and the like alpha ace in that room, is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be like a trade deadline acquisition.
For sure.
Get him back.
To an already strong room. But they did lose an option over the last couple days. Luis Gil, who has been down in AAA, it was already looking shaky if he would be able to get back to the bigs with his stuff not being there anymore and him getting shelled earlier this year. He went on the injured list with shoulder inflammation, and he's going to be out. He's shut down from throwing for at least 3 weeks. And usually the amount you're shut down is the amount it takes to ramp back up. So that's 6 weeks that he's out. And then he has to try and get back pitching well for him to even be an option for the Yankees. So I don't know if we're going to see Luis Gil in pinstripes for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he's a trade piece.
We'll see as we get closer.
If a team wants to take a chance on a young pitcher who has proven success, obviously winning Rookie of the Year a couple years ago, but like if the Yankees, they're going to look out to get a reliever, they're going to maybe look to get a bat, maybe an infielder.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens. Obviously, it's still May, but Still a long, long, long way to go, over 2 months. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe Luis Gil is a guy that teams could want. You know, if they're giving away a high leverage arm in the bullpen that the Yankees are targeting, maybe, hey, we want this guy. We want to take a chance on a young starting pitcher who kind of might need to change the scenery. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But obviously, too far to get in, too long away from the deadline to get into
Yeah.
trade talks.
But they're starting a series in Baltimore in the next couple of minutes. But looking at the lineup for today, starting at shortstop is Max Schumann. Injuries have started to crush the Yankees. One of them, Jose Caballero, he's traveling back to New York tomorrow to see a hand specialist. He injured his middle finger sliding into second base yesterday, I'm pretty sure. And they don't think it's fractured, but there's some concern around it, is what Boone said. I mean, is Anthony Volpe going to be back already? I mean, he hasn't performed in AAA so far. But if Caballero's going on the IL with an injured finger, like, are they? I don't think they're giving Lombard the chance. So, and it's a shortstop, so I think it's gonna be Volpe.
If Caballero goes in the IL, I'd be shocked if it's Volpe.
I'd be
shocked if it's not Volpe. I'd be shocked if it is Lombard.
Yeah, same. The other guy is Oswaldo Cabrera, but I don't think they want him starting every day at short. So
no, he's not a natural shortstop.
Well, he is, but he plays everywhere, and he hasn't. He's not amazing.
I thought he was a natural third baseman.
No, he's a natural shortstop. Most of these guys are natural shortstops, though. And then we just move around the diamond. Like, Lombard's played second and third already in AAA. But Oswaldo, we'll see. I think it would be Volpe. Hopefully Caballero's all right. Another injury that you mentioned earlier, Jason Dominguez. He made a spectacular play running into the wall a couple days ago. And then he hit the wall hard. We thought maybe a lower body injury at first, but then you see him get up. Cart came out, thought concussion, maybe a shoulder, and he tested negative for a concussion originally. Not sure if it changed. There's been no update. But he has a low-grade AC joint sprain, which Aaron Boone said it's going to be a few weeks. So I feel terrible for Dominguez. Anytime he gets an opportunity, it's just injury or some. It's not even just like a hamstring pull. It's all these freak injuries that like Aaron Judge had to start his career.
Yeah, I mean, he makes a terrific play in the outfield, and he gets hurt. Like it really just sucks for the kid. But
you see, like Aaron Judge, younger in his career, he had these. He was hit by a pitch, then he ran to the wall, like an oblique strain. Like Dominguez, he had the Tommy John, or he was limited already in his development with COVID, and then he had Tommy John out of nowhere, and then he's coming back from Tommy John, working his way back to the big leagues, and he strains the oblique on a check swing. Last year he injured his hand for a couple days, which hindered him, and he ended up losing a lot of playing time because of it. Now earlier this year he got hit in the elbow, missed a couple days. And now he's out with this shoulder injury. And you assume he's going to have to go back down to AAA if Jones starts hitting. So it's horrible for him.
Yeah, I mean, you feel bad for him. He's finally getting a shot this year. I read all the stories. He's taking it like a pro, getting sent down. He hasn't complained much. He's kind of accepted it and just stuck to the plan, trusted the process, and really wanting to develop and get better, and gets a shot in the majors. He was playing pretty well. He makes a great play in the outfield, and boom, back on the injured list. So,
and then the other two injuries with the Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton still out with that calf strain. Aaron Boone said earlier that he might start running soon, but when he starts running, it shouldn't be long. And then Ben Rice returned after 4 days with that hand contusion. So he's all right, thankfully. We'll see when we get Stanton back. I would assume in the next couple weeks. But yeah, that's that for the Yankees. The Mets, they've kind of shifted into irrelevance. Like, there's not much like consistent losing anymore. It's just like a bad team. They're not going on a win streak. They had a 5-4 West Coast road trip. They just lost the final two of a series in Arizona. Same story. The offense doesn't hit against pitchers that aren't good. And, yeah.
I mean, it's the same story with this team. They have no hitters who consistently hit. Their pitching, they have like 3 solid pitchers. Clay Holmes has been unreal this year. Nolan McLean has been good recently, and Freddie Peralta's been better recently. But it's just like the bullpen sucks.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the like Christian Scott has been solid. Nothing special, but he's been okay. He's given them a couple quality starts. Like I don't even know what to say anymore. Like the lineup just sucks. Like they don't have any.
When you're missing Lindor, and we'll talk about Robert and Polanco, you need the two guys that you're looking at to really carry you on offense is Soto and Bichette, and they went a combined 0 for 20 in this Arizona series. Like that's just unacceptable. Like you're getting paid $42 million for Bichette, and Soto's what, $50 million a year. Like it's an unbelievable amount of money that these players are making. And then you're looking at the rest of that lineup. You're looking at some days Austin Slater hits third, MJ Melendez hits third, Mark Vientos hits third. Like I thought about this earlier. The Mets being this bad with this payroll could be the reason there's no lockout in baseball next year.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I mean, even the Dodgers haven't been good recently. I know they're like 4-6 in their last 10. They're I think 9-11. They have 9 wins in their last 20 games or something. But
if the worst team in baseball finishes with the second highest payroll in the sport, I mean that's an argument that can be used of
that's a great point.
Why it shouldn't be a lockout.
That's a good point actually, but we'll see what happens with the lockout. That's like a year away. But I mean, the Mets' best hitter over the last like 10 games has been Carson Bench.
Oh yeah, he started to break out.
He's really starting to play well actually, but he's been awesome in the field. He'll be a Gold Glove finalist most likely. I mean, he's been unreal in the field. He's making diving catches every game. He's been on the highlight reel. He's hitting a lot better recently. That OPS has gone up a lot. It's getting close to 700 when it was 2 weeks ago. It was in like the 400s.
Mm-hmm.
He has like a 1 OPS over his last like 10 games or something like that.
Yeah.
So he's really hitting well. You like to see that from a young kid like him who was hyped up coming into the season. He recently lost his prospect status, so you look at the Mets' top prospects, it looks a lot different. You know, last year their top 4 were Benj, McLean, Brandon Sproat, and Jet Williams. None of them are in the top. Or none of them are in the Mets system anymore.
Who's number 1 now? Tong?
It's Tong.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2.
AJ Ewing.
2 is AJ Ewing. Yeah, 3 is Ryan Clifford.
We'll see if he gets a chance soon.
I mean, we'll get into Polanco in a second, but I haven't heard it. All right, let's talk about it now. But
yeah, let's do it.
Polanco and Luis Robert, when was the last time you've seen any update about
nothing? And more Polanco because he's been out much longer.
He's missed 26 games already.
Yeah, like Robert, I mean, he went on a week ago, and it was kind of like a back injury. You know what happened.
But it came out of nowhere. Like, he was sitting out for 4 games. And then
but he's not even eligible to return yet. So
no, I know.
That's different. Like Polanco, like he's been out like what, a month maybe now?
26 games he's missed.
Yeah, like it's a lot of time, and we haven't even heard like a real update on him.
I haven't seen anything on when he's returning to practice, when he's running again, when he's doing anything. I haven't seen any timeline at all.
He went on. What was the injury he went on with? A wrist, right?
It was his wrist. Like I know he was battling the calf injuries earlier in the year, but then it was a wrist injury.
Right, a little bit of both.
So I have zero clue, and they're playing with Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos at first, 2 unnatural first basemen. Beatty's been solid, and Vientos has been okay. Like he looks better than last year at first base.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe Ryan Clifford gets a shot. He's been playing really well in AAA.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe get a natural first baseman in there.
Mets could definitely use that infusion of youth and talent.
They need a spark, and I think bringing up a top prospect is one of the better ways to do it. So we'll see what happens.
If they don't get that spark, they're gonna end up being sellers at the deadline, and that's a nice segue to our last point about the Mets. Freddie Peralta, Clay Holmes, also possible trade candidates as we move closer. I've seen this. Clay Holmes to the Cubs would make a ton of sense.
Ground ball pitching with that
Yeah, with
elite
that
infield.
defense, that good of a
Yeah.
team. Freddie Peralta, we'll see if he ends up getting traded. I don't know. With the
I've seen
prospect
Peralta's to the
capital,
Cubs also.
yeah, it's just more
Rumors,
with the
but
prospect capital
it's-
they gave up. It wouldn't make a lot of sense because
yeah,
you're
I
not going to
mean,
get back in as much,
no, for
nearly as
sure.
much.
I think the right thing to do is holding on to Peralta at least until the deadline. See where you are there. See how he's performing. If he's pitching well and the team isn't playing well, I think you can take calls, see what you're getting. But I think if he's playing well, you should probably try to extend him.
Yeah,
If he's playing well, but because he's still pretty young. I think he's 29.
yeah,
But
he's not that old.
then Clay Holmes hasn't opted out at the end of the year. If he continues this, he's for sure opting out. So I think he's a guy that can 100% look to move to a contender,
Hmm.
and they can get some real value for him. This is all assuming the Mets don't pick it up, and really start playing well. But at this point,
Which I don't see
it's
happening.
it's May, and they are 12 and a half games behind the Braves.
Yeah, I mean,
And I mean the NL Central right now. I mean, I think every team is still over 500.
it's
So I mean,
absurd.
the wild card spots are just loaded up right now. So I
Yeah.
think the Mets kind of need a miracle at this point to make the playoffs. But
I mean, no,
and
you got a lot of time. It's just I don't know how good this team is.
the
So
team's not
that's
good. The
yeah,
team's not good, and
that's the challenge.
two, three of our five best hitters on paper are on the injured list right now.
Yep.
So I kind of have no words about this team at this point. They're just the definition of irrelevant, mediocre. Like they're not
Bad.
losing every single game at this point, but they just suck. you know?
Yeah. So that's a wrap on the MLB. The Yankees just started a series with the Orioles. The Mets are going to start with the Tigers. So we'll talk in a couple days about that. There was a big NFL schedule leak that came out this morning regarding your New York Giants. They're going to open their season.
Well, it was confirmed, not a leak.
Yes. There was
Actually, I saw it did get leaked like 15 minutes before. I saw it on
Oh,
Twitter.
really?
It got leaked by I forget who. I'll find it later and I'll send it to you. But
But
this guy leaked it. He posted it. He was like, I'm hearing Giants or Cowboys at Giants Sunday Night Football Week 1, and then
Yeah.
like 15 minutes the NFL posted it.
yeah, that's gonna be
Watch
a
that
fun
account.
game. That's gonna be a fun game.
It-
Two of
I've
the
seen-
premier teams in the NFC East. That's a loaded division. Obviously, big rivals. We know that matchup started off a couple years ago on Sunday Night Football with the Giants having high expectations, and now with a new regime with John Harbaugh, they will look to change that script. That's gonna be a fun game come September.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to people who, oh, I want to play the Cardinals Week 1. Oh, I want to play the Titans. I want to play the Browns. No, this is the game I wanted Week 1. If I could choose any game to have Week 1, I would have said primetime at home against the Cowboys. That's what I would have said, and I got my wish. I mean, this is the matchup I wanted. First game with John Harbaugh in the John Harbaugh era, playing our biggest rival. The crowd is going to be electric. This is exactly what I wanted. This is a chance to prove that the Giants are a legit team on national television and beat our rivals. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect matchup for the Giants. I don't think but it's not like the Cowboys they're such a good team that they're going to get blown out and
just another
embarrassed
good
on
team.
national TV. But they're another solid team. They're kind of in the same tier as the Giants, hoping to be a contender for a wild card spot, maybe even the division this year. So I think it's a perfect matchup. I love it. I'm going to be super excited. Just already stoked for that game, even though it's many months
4 months away. Yeah, we've got a lot of time until football season's back. We'll talk about the schedule release when it is officially out on Thursday. But with the Giants starting on Sunday night at home, you would assume that means the Jets are going to be on the road, as I don't anticipate the 3-14 Jets starting on Monday Night Football. But so they will likely start on the road. the long thought has been Jets at Titans week
LA.
1 against Robert
Titans?
Saleh.
Oh,
That's been the thought for a while with Saleh. I've seen Bills with their new stadium as a possibility. Patriots could happen. Another possibility that I would enjoy happening is them going to LA against the Chargers, a 4:00 game, week 1. Mainly because the Yankees and Mets play
there's a
at
Subway
1
Series game
o'clock.
at 1 o'clock. Right?
So you could see maybe the NFL wanting to balance the New York teams out of that time, but I don't really.
I think that they actually will pay attention to that.
I think it's going to end up being 1 o'clock in Tennessee.
Okay, I could see that, but
I'd be pretty shocked if it's not.
I could see them doing a 4 o'clock game in LA because I could the viewership. I mean, people are going to be in on that Subway Series game.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. People will watch football over anything. So
no, for sure. But
I think it's going to end up being Jets at Titans with Saleh and all the former Jets. And yeah, I mean, another thing you could see is Jets at Lions with Glenn going back there, but that's another low possibility. I think Titans most likely.
I mean, that'd be a fun week 1 game.
Yeah.
A lot of connections between both sides. I mean, half of Tennessee's roster played on New York in the last 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. But there's been another big football story that started to materialize here, and it definitely includes the Jets. Brennan Sorsby, the number 2 transfer portal quarterback coming from Cincinnati. He transferred to Texas Tech. He's got all the arm talent in the world, an absolute stud, but he is checking into rehab for gambling and a gambling addiction, and the thought is he will likely be suspended from college football and not be eligible anymore. Yeah.
He bet on Indiana when he was on Indiana.
Yeah.
So that's like the number 1 rule against all against all athletes, really.
Mm-hmm. So, and then I anticipate if he does go through the supplementary draft, there would be a suspension waiting for him in the NFL, maybe. But if he is there in the supplementary draft, I would be very interested in the Jets bidding their 2nd or 3rd round pick on him. Because he's one of those guys that was in contention that when you're thinking next year, Jets quarterback, he could be one of their 1st round picks. Like, if you can get him for, a 3rd, and then you have 3 firsts and a 2nd to go and build out your roster around him, that would be huge for this rebuild.
Yeah, I think it would probably cost them a 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah. Not a 1st.
But I think definitely not a 1st. But I think definitely with the capital that they have next year, they have 3 firsts.
Yeah.
They have 2 seconds next year?
1.
All
3
right,
firsts, a 2nd.
Either way, only 1 second next year, whatever. I think they can probably bid that 2nd pick, or that 2nd round pick, and not be devastated, obviously. And if they can get in talent like Sorsby into that QB room, I mean, there'll be a suspension waiting for him. But
yeah,
he's a super talented quarterback. The arm talent is unreal. He can run a little bit. He's a really, really good player. And I mean, not even looking at the NFL, like Texas Tech, like what are they gonna do?
Like, you were thinking maybe they're gonna be one of the favorites for the title this year.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I was giving my top 5 teams. And Texas Tech was right there at like 5 or 6, and I don't even know
where they go from here. But they did survive last year with not great quarterback play.
No, they did, but I mean, yeah, but you see what happened in the playoff game.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and they're losing a lot of that incredible defensive line.
But even then, Baron Morton is still an NFL quarterback right now.
Yeah.
So they're in trouble. Texas Tech, they have a lot of work to do right now.
Yep, for sure. We'll see what happens. All right, one last thing before we move on to the NBA. Both New York teams made a signing, or the Giants made a signing, and the Jets extended somebody very important over the last week. Breece Hall got paid a 3-year, $45 million contract. It's a bit expensive. He's now the 3rd highest paid running back in football, but the Jets have a ton of money. It's essentially a 2-year deal, just basically a double tag. The 3rd year has no guaranteed money. Brees is an amazing player. He's not like a top running back, but he's probably somewhere in the 7 to like 12 range in football. And when you're gonna have a rookie quarterback next year, you want as many weapons as you can. So that's what Brees is. He's adding on to that Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper, A.D. Mitchell, Kenyon Sadiq, Mason Taylor, all the strong offensive line. So I mean, I'm a fan of it. And then the Giants beefed up their defensive line room with DJ Reader, defensive tackle coming over from Detroit. 2-year deal, not too much money. A strong move for them as they look to replace Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, so I'll start off with Brees Hall. From an actual money perspective, from side of things, I don't love it. I think it's slight overpay.
It's a double
But
tag.
yeah, I mean he's a really good player. As you said, a rookie quarterback. It's essential for them to have that running back who also happens to be an elite receiving back. I think that's super important for a rookie quarterback. So I think it makes sense with the Jets. They have a ton of money, and uh, not too much money like booked into the long term. They really only have like a couple long term deals right now. Um, so I think it makes sense. Brees Hall has been wanting this extension for many years now. The last two
Mm,
seasons, the last two off seasons, it's been discussed. Last season everyone thought he was going to be traded when Sauce and Quinnen went out the door. He requested the trade. Nothing ended up happening, and now he's a Jet for the next at least 2 years. So
yeah.
we'll see what happens. I think it makes a ton of sense for the Jets, and I think it's a good deal for both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then DJ Reader. It's a 2-year deal. I love it. I think he's gonna fit nicely with this John Harbaugh defense, with the Giants needing a D tackle after trading Dexter Lawrence. They signed Shelby Harris and Leaky Fotu. They have Darius Alexander, who is going to need to step up this year. He's really going to need to take that next step this year.
Yep.
Especially with Dexter Lawrence at the door. But DJ Reader, great run stopper. Not really sure how much he's going to rush the passer and how many sacks he's going to end the year with, but
It's fine.
his
You have all
role,
those edge rushers.
that's what the edge rushers are for. That's what he has brought here
Need
for.
those D tackles to beef up the middle.
Yeah, they beef up the middle, they stuff the run, and they open opportunities for Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Arvo Reese to really rush the passer, and that's what allowed. I mean, without Dexter Lawrence on the D line last year, I'm not sure how many sacks Brian Burns ends up with, but it's definitely not 16.
No, for sure.
So I think it's a great signing.
Mhm.
He was
It's
one
another
of
depth
he was
move.
he was the top D tackle available.
Always a free agent.
He's always a free agent, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the signing a lot.
Yeah. So I want to touch on the NBA, and then we'll close with the NHL. You'll lead that. The NBA draft lottery happened on Sunday, right before the Knicks game, and then I'll get into the playoffs. The Washington Wizards get the number 1 overall pick. There was a thought for a bit maybe the Knicks could get that pick if it fell to like 9 or 10, but the Wizards jumped to 1, and they're
trade?
gonna not 100%
Keyshawn
sure.
George.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago. It was
I get it.
2022. They had it hasn't conveyed. It was protected 2022, 23, 24, 25. And then this year was the final year where it could be protected, and now it will just be 2 second-round picks for the Knicks. So the Wizards, you assume, are going to be able to draft AJ DeMonta. They might trade out of the pick, I've seen, but I don't know how smart that would be. The Nets dropped to 6, which is great to see. The Kings dropped to number 7, which is heartbreaking for their fans. And then one of the big ones was the Indiana Pacers, who tanked all season trying to add to that core with maybe a Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonsa or Darius Acuff, Boozer, Caleb Wilson, one of those guys. They made a trade midseason for Vika Zubac, and they gave in a protected first-round pick 1 to 4. and then I'm pretty sure it was like 10-14. And their pick ends up at number 5, which means the Clippers are going to pick 5th, and the Pacers just wasted this entire season for nothing.
They just lost their pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible. I mean, horrible for them.
So
great for the rest of the Eastern Conference, but
yeah, I mean, the Pacers, I'm expecting them to have a bounce back year next year.
yeah,
with
when Hallie's back and
Siakam,
everyone else, yeah.
Um,
Zubac now, Nesmith, Nemhard.
Yeah, I mean, they made the final. They brought the Thunder to Game 7 in the NBA Finals last year.
Maybe would have won that if Hallie didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm expecting them to be a playoff team next year, in that range, or a playoff contender next year for sure.
Yeah,
and adding a guy like maybe a Darius Acuff, one of those guys in the 3 to 4 range, or they had the best odds for number 1, right?
It was up there. It wasn't number 1 though. It wasn't the best odds.
If they could add a guy like Darren Peterson, Darius Acuff, Cam Boozer,
Devonta,
Caleb Wilson, that would be scary.
Yeah, and now they lost out the opportunity, and we'll see what the Clippers do. Now as we shift to the playoffs, the big 2 storylines have been the Knicks and the Thunder just rolling through teams. The Thunder are up 3-0 on the Lakers as they go for their second sweep later tonight. In the Western Conference, the Spurs and Timberwolves are tied at 2. Big win for the T-Wolves the other night after Victor Wembanyama was ejected for elbowing Naz Reid in the throat. And then in the East, the Cavs Pistons are tied 2-1, as I said. That game 4 is later tonight. So all competitive series besides the Thunder. We'll see if the Lakers can fight to see another day. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the most likely finals matchup right now has got to be the Thunder and the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it now, and it's hard to disagree with that, but the Thunder kind of seem unbeatable.
Yeah.
But
I think the Knicks will be able to compete.
I think
we'll see if they can win the series, but I think it would be a good series and a competitive series.
Yeah, but I think if I'm making a pick, you can't really pick against the Thunder.
No, but we'll see.
But
anything can happen.
To say that. I mean, Knicks have a whole other 7-game series to play.
So do the Thunder.
And so do the Thunder. So, way too early to even talk about. They don't even know who they're playing in the next round yet. So,
yeah, exactly.
Definitely can't be overlooking either the Pistons or the Cavs because those are 2 great teams also.
Yeah. And then you can touch up on the NHL. The lottery happened, and then the playoffs have continued to roll on.
Yeah, so the lottery was last Thursday. Toronto jumps up to number 1, wins the Gavin McKenna sweepstakes. People are going to say it's rigged. There was a quote from Austin Matthews. It was either that morning or sometime that week where he was like, look, I don't know my future in Toronto, but I want to see help added. I want to see another playmaker added.
And now they get Gavin McKenna.
And now they get Gavin McKenna.
Yeah.
Like, that is ridiculous. And, of course, during the lottery, the Rangers had 2 ping pong balls out of 14, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They had the second best odds live during the lottery. It was Vancouver with 3 balls. Rangers had 2, and then every other team had 1. And the Rangers had a legit chance to get Gavin McKenna or whoever they're going to choose at 1.
Now they jump to 5.
And they fall to 5. They don't get him in the first draw. Second draw goes to the Sharks. They jump up to number 2. That already ridiculous core. Macklin Celebrini might be an MVP candidate, might be a Hart candidate in the next couple of years. He's that good. They have a loaded young core. They're going to be a playoff team next year, most likely, and they had the number 2 pick in the draft.
Scary. Scary times.
They are scary. They're going to be a cup contender within the next 2 or 3 years. Yep. And obviously for the Rangers, they fall to 5, which is so unlucky for them. 5 is the lowest they could have gone. And of course they fall to it because, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what they do there. I've seen a couple mock drafts, they could look at a guy like Caleb Malhotra, maybe Carson Carls. I think he's my number one guy right now. Left defenseman, playing next to Adam Fox. He's a big physical D-man, hits hard, but he can skate really well. He's pretty big. He's a shot creator. He is a power play guy. Like, he is a do-it-all defenseman. He's kind of like a Jake Sanderson type of guy, like a Quinn Hughes. Like, he's that type of defenseman. Pegging that next to Adam Fox would maybe be the best D pair in the league. So, way too early to really draw these conclusions, but just some interesting stuff.
Well, we just got a NFL schedule leak. As I said, it was possible the Jets and Bills would open Week 1 at the new Highmark Stadium.
Is it a leak or is it confirmed?
It is confirmed. That will not happen. The Bills will open their Highmark Stadium Week 2 on Thursday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. So
they're on the road Week 1.
Yes. So that is ruled out for the Jets. I'm thinking Titans. We'll find out Thursday.
And then back to NHL. That's enough for the draft and the lottery. But Carolina was the first team in NHL history to sweep the first 2 series. They swept Ottawa. They swept Philly. They won 8 straight games. You know, the Rangers did that a couple years ago. They won 7 straight. But Carolina gets over that hump. Go up. 5 or 6 teams ever have done 7 in a row, but Carolina, first team ever to win 8 in a row. They are scary. I mean, the East is pretty weak this year, but they are really, really good. So
yeah,
see what happens there. Minnesota, Colorado, Game 4 tonight. Super electric series, high scoring. Every game has been high scoring. Montreal, Buffalo. Montreal leads 2-1 in that. They look good. They're scoring a lot. We'll see if Buffalo can win a crucial Game 4 to keep their playoffs alive after their 15-year drought. So yeah, we'll see what happens. It's been super fun so far, and should get even more interesting.
Yep. So we'll see how both of those playoffs continue to unfold. We'll be back in the next couple days. We should have a guest on next episode. Thank you all for watching episode 13 of Inside the Numbers. And we will see you all next time.